Hey guys, welcome to the first edition of this. It's going to be a couple times a month. I'm going to talk about either TV shows, movies, animes that I'm either watching, liking, or hating on. So for today, we're going to cover a few topics. We're going to go over three animes that are coming out right now. And like I said, it's not just going to be anime. That's just today's episode. It's going to be three animes that are coming out that are still coming out. They're only like 4 to 5 episodes in. I waited that long just to kind of see if they were going to be worth the time. One stinker due to a variety of issues, and then one that I feel like was overlooked. I'm not seeing anything in the communities about it. I'm not seeing anybody talk about it. I'm not seeing any of that kind of stuff. So I figured it would be a good spot to talk about it. So for the first three, we're just going to go over a brief summary, name, and what I rate it so far. Obviously, that could change by the end of the series, but we're just going off of what out's right now. And then we'll go into why this anime is bad and that anime was overlooked, etc. But we'll just jump straight into it. So the first one is actually called The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows. So rating wise, it's not fantastic. It obviously has its issues because it's a typical isekai. Well, I guess it's not really an isekai because nobody was teleported. But you know, it's set in this fantasy reality with this healer who is a commoner instead of a noble, and only nobles can practice healing magic in this universe. And he sets up this clinic, and it brings in a bunch of scummy people who he has to fight off, and then the scummy people end up liking him. But overall, the fight scenes, the animation, the characters so far, they're very good. I don't believe it's dubbed yet. I think it's only subbed. But if you're into anime, it's something that I believe that you would really like. The second one is my personal favorite out of the three. It's Sword of the Demon Hunter. So overall, it came in with a hot 50-minute episode, which was very unusual for anime. Typically, when an anime is coming out or a TV show is coming out, they drop you that little pilot, that little sip, little taste of what you can get, you know, what you're expecting to get. But this one dropped straight off the bat, an hour episode. The animation, top tier. It's obviously not Demon Slayer good. I'm assuming everybody who watches anime knows Demon Slayer has the best animation in the industry, which we can debate back and forth on. I'm not going to go into it too deep, but the animation is very good. The story is basically this young boy has, spoilers, this young boy has a sister who is a demon. And it's kind of almost Demon Slayer-ish, except almost exact opposite when it comes to the actual story breakdown. Tanjiro, as we know in Demon Slayer, all he wants to do is save his sister. In this one, he wants to kill his sister. That's actually his entire objective throughout the show so far, is he's looking for his sister so he can kill her. I would give it a watch. The show has a lot of good moments, a lot of emotional moments, and then there's pacing moments where things slow down and you can really get a look into who the character is. It's not just fight scene, or it's not just slow down, training arc, you know, because that's typically the biggest issue with animes is they have a problem balancing those two. We'll have an entire season of a training arc. We'll have an entire scene of just fighting where we don't know any of the characters, so we don't really care who lives and dies. This one I think is finding that good balance, and I'm hoping for the best. It is at 4 episodes now, and I will rate that one. I'm going to give that one a 8.5 out of 10. And the third one on my good coming out animes of this year, of this season, since April release basically, is called From Old Country Bumpkin to Swordmaster. And I know what you're thinking. Terrible title. I know, I'm with you. It's not a good title. It's a little bit long, but it's basic. It's exactly how it sounds. This old swordmaster was living in the country dojo. He's not even that old. He's like, I'm from the anime, it seems like he's like a 45-year-old guy. But you know how it is in anime. Like, anybody over 30 is dead. So he's living in the countryside. He has like a little dojo or whatever, and he gets approached by one of his old students who is now... Oh, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning for this whole thing. He gets approached by one of his old students who is now a higher up in this capital. And she wants him to come to town to be a special instructor. He's, very down on himself because he's never left the country. He's just this old guy now. He doesn't think he has the ability to come and serve at the capital in any kind of aspect. But he actually does, and he ends up going to the capital and proving himself, basically. So far, the animation has been very good. The fights haven't come in a lot yet, but I feel like the build-up is there for some very good fights. Because he kind of downplays his own skill, because he doesn't realize that he is more skilled than he gives himself credit for. The characters and the relationships throughout the show are very good. Obviously this is one of those animes that's kind of filled with a lot of fan service. So if that's not your thing, I wouldn't check it out. There's bouncing titties and shit. It's typical anime shit. If that's not what you're into, 100% I understand. It's in there, so check it out. I would give that one a solid 7.5. I got to get a little bit more into the story to really see how that progresses to give it a higher score or a lower score. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. So that's the top 3 for this newest drop of anime. We're going to have to get into the stinker now. So the very anticipated, very waited for, especially by manhwa readers, which if you're only familiar with the term manga, so it's basically Korean mangas. People were really looking forward to this one, and to say that they were let down is an understatement. It's the beginning after the end. So it's about a king who dies and is reincarnated, and throughout his life as a king, he was very brutal. He killed a lot of people, to say the least. Did a lot of damage to his world. And now he's set in this one, and it's all about him growing as a person, accepting family and friends, and protecting them from this new evil that is approaching. I'm not going to go into too many details because the anime is still pretty fresh, and unless you're a manga reader, you don't really know what's going on. So I'm not gonna spoil too much on that one, but just basically think isekai, magic, and death. Like, that's kind of it, you know what I mean? And fighting. The manhwa's apparently brilliant, and a lot of people were looking forward to it, and as a non-manhwa reader of the beginning after the end, I can tell you just from the anime standpoint, the animation is abysmal at best. There's way too many PowerPoint, as we like to say in the community, where an action is taking place, but instead of, the action actually taking place, it's like a freeze frame with a colored panel behind. So, like, I draw a bow, and then a gray panel showing, like, straight lines to show my action of pulling the bow pops up behind me. And, according to my buddy, who is a manga reader, they actually skipped quite a few chapters in the latest episode, which he was upset about. Overall, I would say the animation is the biggest killer of it. I can deal with some chapters being skipped and some information being, thrown out, as long as the overall story makes sense and still adheres to the source material. But bad animation, to that degree, is hard to overlook. Even shows like From Commonplace to World's Strongest, they have a lot of CGI and a lot of what you would consider bad animation, but the actual animation itself and fight scenes make up for that because they don't use any of those still frames where I'm drawing the bow, I'm swinging my sword. They don't do any of that stuff. So you can look past those few, you can look past the CGI and maybe some bad animation here and there, but when you're mixing bad animation in with the still frames, and CGI all in once, you have a recipe for people not enjoying what you made. There's a rumor also that the author or the publisher or whatever had the option to go with studios like Mappa and others, but chose to go with this other studio, which I guess has not only a history of producing semi-bad animation, but also of only one-off seasons, which people are not happy about. So overall, I would say that's the stinker of the season. We'll see. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe there'll be a season 2 that drops. There's already a petition for a reboot, so we will go from there. We will see how it goes. And the last one I wanted to talk about is a finished already. It finished last month on the 12th episode, but I haven't seen anybody talking about it, and I just wanted to throw a little love toward it because it deserves the love. It does all the things I said that T-Bait is doing wrong. It does right. The animation is good. The grittiness is great. The fights are great. The gore is great. The story is good. Overall, fantastic. And it's getting no love from the community, and I'm not sure why. And it is called Ubelblatt. I know, weird ass name, but it is what it is. Basically, a hero of a kingdom, an empire, I should say, was killed by the other members of his party so they could take credit for the actions he does with another individual, the other hero. Because they wanted to become the 7 heroes that save the kingdom and get all the prestige and the land and all the things that come with it. And if he was alive, he would have been the hero because he actually did all the work. They didn't do shit. They actually said at one point, spoilers, this is a suicide mission, and he says, I'm going anyways. So they kill him when he's not expecting it, or else he would have killed all them. He gets reincarnated. I think timeline-wise, it would have been like 10 to probably a little longer, maybe like 20 years later. I'd have to double check that, but either way, he gets reincarnated as a demi-human whose origin is not necessarily... It's not said he's an elf or this or that or this. It just says he has what is called fairy blood, or fey blood, which I think is just an overall, if you're this type of demi-human, you have this sort of blood, but some demi-humans have it more than others. It almost gives me vampire vibes, because when he's in the moon, he's, able to heal instantly and stuff like that. But it's his revenge story. And I don't mean, revenge, oh, I'm going to take down your kid. No, he brutally murders these guys. Very brutally. And anybody who gets in his way gets brutally murdered. And he has certain abilities, but I don't want to spoil that. It's kind of a reveal later on when he ends up killing one of the other heroes. His abilities and the different things he can do as this fairy-blooded individual, but it's definitely worth to watch. I wish it was getting more love in the community, but I haven't seen anything on it. So if you would like something new to watch, it's a quick 12 episodes. You'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it. Give it a watch, seriously. We will probably we'll probably talk about more anime here and there. The Crunchyroll Awards are coming up soon, so we'll definitely talk about that. I wanted to talk about Solo Leveling Invincible, which is not an anime, it's an American cartoon based on a comic series called Invincible. But I feel like the time has passed. I'll just let you know real quick that they're both 10 out of 10s. Well, the third season of Invincible was 10 out of 10. The second season of Solo Leveling was, in my opinion, a 9.5, only due to length. I do think that the continuing of these 12-episode series is kind of killing the industry. It's just my opinion, obviously, because it seems like we're getting all these 12-episode series and then we're getting movies, which is fine as long as the media still keeps coming out in one way or another and people can enjoy it. That's perfectly fine. But it seems like that's how things are going, And if you don't have the money to go see the movie or time, or, in my case, I have a daughter that, I can't go to the movies and go watch this gory anime film with her. It's a little shitty because typically you can't find the drop for them for a few months. I mean, Overlord, I think it's The Secret Kingdom or something like that. That came out in September or October, and it's just now dropping on Crunchyroll. That's if it came out in October, November, December, that was 6 months ago. You know what I mean? So, the fans themselves are the one that seems to be getting hit the hardest with it. I would give Solo Leveling a 10 out of 10 for everything else. I just wish there was more content to consume, which is obvious. Everybody wanted more of Solo Leveling, so. But yeah, I just wanted to do this really quick. I want to start doing more content like this. Just me, you, Antonio, my co-host, just talking about things going on in the world, things we're interested in, things you guys might be interested in. And yeah, just making content that's more personable, I guess. Not just us playing a video game and you guys sitting back and watching. So if you like the content, if you like the videos, if you want to see more of these, leave a like, subscribe, and we will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.